Alrighty, what is going on today, guys? Bitcoin is dumping. Smash the like button if you enjoy the videos. We're going to get into it right now and check out the free DCA course, link down below. So let's get right into it. So basically, we're seeing Bitcoin dump down a bit. We broke down, in the short term, broke down from this. I was thinking, we may form a head and shoulders or something. I was guessing we would break down. I was talking about it in the Discord. We would, but most likely break down. Think I almost hit, I got to check on the trade. I think I almost hit a first take profit on a swing short I've been in for Bitcoin. Probably have hit it on Ethereum. I had it set right around here, so I think we're like really close. I think I might have did like 601, 26,601. So really waiting for that. Most likely we will test this spiral line. Now this is going to be a big area because one, you got the volume area low right around 26.2, and it's a spiral line pocket, which are normally pretty powerful when you look at spiral line pockets. And when we look at some of these lower time frames right here, you're not really seeing any bullish divs, anything that big just yet. Potentially we could come down, maybe form a bullish div on our 6-minute as you kind of hit off of this area. So that's that possibility right here. And then if we look at some of these larger time frames here, kind of neutral. I mean, your VWAP is coming up on some of these, money flow coming out. That would signify some consolidation potentially. Trigger wave that could form in a while in a 20-hour. That VWAP still has a ways to go to get there though. So I'm not too optimistic on that just yet. You got the red dot on the 2-day. And let's look at a cleaner chart here. I just want to show you guys some of these larger time frames. We talked about, like I just mentioned, the 2-day right here, kind of acting as resistance. It's like this doesn't want to come into the green. You know what I mean? You came into the green a little bit. You did confirm in the green, but now you're coming back into the red. So seems like you are rejecting from that area. And then the VWAP is kind of coming down right here. Trigger wave to the downside. Money flow to potentially get deeper. Now this 3-day is a very bearish time frame. This I would say is a pretty rare bearish situation here. Kind of similar to over here. This was, where was this? November 22. Okay. Now we got the FTX trial going on. Did anybody see the picture of Caroline Ellison? Oh my God, the way they drew her. I mean, that was the whatever artist was drawing that has a vendetta. Has a oh my God, they were doing her dirty there. They were, oh my God. Anyway, guys. Right to this point, that'd be 19. That's as we dump down out of nowhere. I'm not really thinking that will happen. I think it's going to be more gradual and slow, but I do think you're probably going to come down farther. And if we look at the weekly here, okay, fierce rejection from the 200 weekly moving average at 28K. Congrats if you shorted that. that was a good place. And now we're doing pretty good here. And then your 300 weekly, I think you will probably test this at some point, probably by the end of the year. November is where I'm looking, kind of in a month from now, potentially to come to the low 20s. This could drop down fast. And then for those talking about, my guess is that you just hit the low 20s. But for those talking about lower, things, 400 is possible. 16.5 right here. Anything is possible, guys. Anything is possible. So that's kind of your double bottom type thing. When would you hit that? I think it would take a while. Like I think it would be sometime in Q1 at 24 if you're going to come lower than 20K. I think it's going to take some time, especially in a more apathetic area. So apathetic period of the 4-year cycle. So yeah. But I mean, DCAing in, here until pre-halvening, pretty good place, I think. Pretty good place. So let's move on to Ethereum a little bit. Larger, I haven't talked about this in a minute. This is your Wyckoff accumulation. It's playing out beautifully so far. I mean, some consolidation. Looks like we're breaking downward. Money flow to come deeper on your three week. Your weekly looks atrocious here. Your weekly looks god awful. VWAP coming down, RSI come down, money flow crossing down. Probably going to get, let's see last time how deep we had to get before we, kind of bottomed out in December. Oh, that was interesting. That was weird. This was coming up well. That doesn't happen too often. A weekly, it's a larger time frame, so it could happen. But, I think you would probably get back to kind of this deepness, this deepness over here into potentially November, coming down to 1,300, maybe 1,100. I think you probably bottomed out. I think 800 is probably your low, but you're probably going to come back to, 1,300, 1,200, like I mentioned, that kind of area. So that's looking pretty bad right there. Monthly, I think that red dot will kind of play out more in the coming months. 2-week VWAP coming up, but I don't think there's going to be anything too promising there. I think we're going to come down farther with this and form more of an anchor wave rather than a trigger wave right here, or maybe a trigger, a deeper kind of trigger wave off of this point, maybe around -36. Yeah, you got a month or two to kind of go here. So that's Ethereum right now, and then let's look at more of the marked up chart, more of the short term here. You're kind of breaking down from this channel. Technical target around 14 something, 1440 right here. Money flow looking like it wants to come deeper on the daily. And money flow is coming up in the 16-hour. Not terrible. Not a terrible time frame. And you are kind of hitting a spiral line right here, which is interesting. It's almost at face value. Ethereum's almost looking a little bit better in Bitcoin. Snake eyes right here, potentially jumping off of that area. Money flow looking like it wants to come deeper, though, on the 4 hours. So my guess is you could potentially kind of break downward from this area right here. Let me just look at, hold on a second. I just want to compare this to, okay, that is, so a 4 hour for 2 hour, well, let's go on the 2 hours. So is Bitcoin is underperforming ETH on the 2 hour. Bitcoin is underperforming ETH. Very, very interesting here. So ETH is kind of holding up. I think that's kind of a little trick, a little bull trap, but we'll see what happens here. And then we're potentially, I would have expected this to lose, will be at 1,500. But if you do lose kind of the channel we're ranging in right now, your next technical place is going to be, around 1513 right there. And then if you lose this, the larger technical target is going to be at 1442. So that's what we got to look at right there if you break down from this kind of area. And then that spiral line is going to be big, around 1,300. 1,300 is where I would be potentially looking to start DCAing into ETH rather than Bitcoin. So we'll keep an eye on that. This guy right here, ETH versus Bitcoin, money flow at this area right before we had a big kind of drop down here. Hopefully it happens quick. We rip the Band-Aid off, and then we are kind of good to go. Bottoming out. ETH has really been bleeding against Bitcoin until the last hour. If we look at, it's pretty up on the hour because it's held up. Little jump here. We'll see what happens. In terms of, a potential kind of trade setup, the thing to look at, a trade that I've been looking on taking is just look at the thing here. Every time we kind of hit this trend line on Chainlink, you reject from it and go down. This is a pretty good swing short. I think that would have a good shot of playing out. It may not win, but if you guys want to trade it, I am trading it. More info on this in Discord. And as well, I did make this trade on FAIRDESK. If you want to check that out, if you want to sign up, link down below. We give a $100 bonus away to anybody, to everybody, one person every week. Really good odds, though. To one person every week that signs up with my link, deposits any amount, does one futures trade. And also, if you did sign up with FAIRDESK to my link and you're in the VIP Aldo Empire, we're going to give you an additional kind of trading fee rebates on the on your FAIRDESK trades. I was able to negotiate it out with their rep. So open a support ticket in the Discord with your UID if that is the case for you, and we will get you sorted there. So really good deal right there. All the other exchanges are the other ones I use. I think those are the best ones to use down below in this type of environment. MEXC is great as well, low fees. So we do give away the $200 bonus with them. You do have to deposit at least $100 into a futures trade, though. But you got good odds of getting the $200 trading bonus. But all great exchanges down below. So that's a good kind of setup down to potentially this area for Chainlink. We want to look at, if you want to get depressed here, let's look at Polkadot. Oh my. It's just, wow, you're just kind of, you're hitting this point, you're hitting some of these wicks of October 2020. So, I mean, I guess if you were to have bought this, in August of 2020, you'd still be up by probably 10%, 18%. Okay. So, I mean, this has just been completely depressing. However, what may happen here is you may get 1-2 more yellow X's, maybe down to $3, and that could potentially be it. As of right now, nothing looking too good. I'm just looking at depressingness of this, it's not a word, but I don't know, the sadness of this. If you do break down farther, though, I mean, potentially $2.80. And if we map this out from where we are right now, that's another 30% down is possible to these areas. I mean, especially if Bitcoin goes down to low 20s, you got to be careful. You got to be careful. But if we do go down that low, Bitcoin dominance, continues forward. Let's look at our Bitcoin dominance chart here, which I think it will. You get some Bitcoin dominance up to the mid to high 50s. Polkadot's at, something of whatever number I just mentioned, $2, $3. That could be a potential 10, 20x in the next bull run. But that's why patience is very, very important here. Patience is very important. If you were just, let's actually go back to it because that was a depressing chart. I mean, if you're if you're buying every dip here, long in every dip, no bueno. But if you're able to get in a few months or something pre-halvening around $2, $3, even if this fails at some point and goes to zero at some point, you're probably still going to get, I don't know, an 800% in the next bull run. You get something good probably. I mean, $10 at least, even if this ends up failing. So yeah. So that's the main kind of coins I've been looking at right now. Let's just look at Cardano a little bit. That's a favorite as well too. I mean, you got the blood diamond on the 3-day. I mean, if you break down from kind of this structure right here, your technical target is going to be at around 20 cents. Could head back to 20 cents pretty soon. So that's that's the thing to look at right there. So none of these look good. They at the moment could get some short-term relief. The thing for a lot of these too that I'm kind of looking at is not this green dot, but potentially the next green dot in the 2-week, which may not happen until January or December or something. Is what I'm kind of looking at to potentially kind of get in here. So yeah, and NASDAQ as well. Traditional markets, they've been holding up kind of well. I think they're down a little bit right now, or I could be wrong. Yeah, in the real short term, they've been coming up a bit. I could see this potentially coming up a little bit more, maybe 15.3K. VWAP is coming up there on the weekly, but I don't think it's going to amount to too much. I mean, you do have the gap to our size here. Tough to say what could potentially happen, but it does look a bit stronger than crypto at the moment. Probably, similar analysis for the S&P 500, we could say here. VWAP coming up, trigger wave kind of forming there. And then you do have kind of a technical target out of this jump here at around 1440. So that could be potentially where we're looking at here. I don't know if, you are getting a rejection here. So that could be where we tend to top out. I don't look at traditional markets as much as crypto, but yeah. And the last thing I want to talk to you guys about a little bit is this is the TLT, 20-year Treasury bond ETF. About to hit this just major point at around $82. I think it's kind of a no-brainer that this will probably drop out once we see this monthly bullish div print, which could happen in a month or two. I think potentially you could come down a little bit lower. I think we are getting close to bottoming out. And then if we go to 30-year yields, we're getting close to topping out, I think. I think this could potentially go up a little bit higher to this fib level, 5.4%. But I think the same thing, the inverse of the TLT, the monthly bear div is probably going to be the end of this most likely. 2-week looking like it may have a little bit more strength in it. So we got to see here weekly. I mean, we're not looking that bad yet. You do have some bear divs. I mean, you're getting, some signs of slowing down, but you're not getting like any major signs of kind of peaking out just yet. So you could have, a bit of a recovery up to that last point here. But yeah, I think we're getting close here. And I think with the wars going on and everything, I think the Fed is definitely done raising. It's just a matter of when they finally pivot. But that may not be until, May, June of next year. So yeah, so that's ultimately what I'm looking at right now. If you guys are interested in trading, like I mentioned, check out the links down below, especially FAIRDESK and MEXC. If you guys are interested in Discord for some more content, some more TA by me and some other really good analysts who have had a lot of really good trade setups and trades over the past year, link in description below for the Discord. And I do have the free trading course on the website, link down below as well. So if you guys are interested in that, check it out. Leave a thumbs up, guys. Always appreciate that. And subscribe to the channel. Goodbye.